strikers to get to 0.6-3 at the halfway point of the season. Incredible opportunity and challenge with Purdue tomorrow night. This is, I think I've been here long enough to tell you there's some pretty good teams in this league we've seen. You look at the great Wisconsin teams, the terrific Purdue team that was earlier in my career here that was so good. Indiana ourselves had games that were just incredibly talented. These guys are still playing in the league. Purdue has everything that all those teams have, and maybe more than any of those teams, they have incredible experience. That Wisconsin had similar type of experience in the past, but I haven't seen anything like this. That they know how to play, they play the right way, they play defense, they hustle. Nobody is about themselves or like a young starlet that is like all of a sudden a young star, I should say, a young star that is out there saying, I got to get mine, right, because I'm going to the league. They're not doing it. They're just trying to win. And you can see 23s against Iowa. Give you, we're the three-point shooting team. They have 5 guys that have made more threes than anybody on our team. They have 5. So it is and they played one less league game. This is just an incredible team, and sometimes teams are offense. This team's got balance. It's got everything. So this is going to be a difficult challenge, but we were able to play them tough here and could have got the W. This is going to be tougher because that is one of the great atmospheres in college basketball, one of the many in this league, but it's a great atmosphere in college basketball to go down and play at their place. And we're gonna do what we try to do in every away game, just try and stick in there, get a feel for the game, get a feel for how they're guarding us, and then try to attack both offensively and defensively appropriately.
Mike? Coach, we talked a lot about teams, switching with 5 against you guys.
Yeah.
Heading into this game, do you feel that your team may be more able to handle that, or do you not really?
Well, it's not only a schematic thing. It is a thing, all right, can you actually score against somebody doing this? Can you actually score, a guard score on a big and a big score on a small? Can you make that entry pass in there? So we try to think of everything, and I know I grow as a coach every day of what we can do, but I don't feel like I can't wait till people switch on us right now because we got the answers. We're still solving that because it is if you have Trey Burke right now, an experienced player at the point right now that is just got the entire package. It's a little bit different when they switched on McGarry and McGarry big rebounding inside. Illinois, I remember switching. We said, all right, Trey, you shoot it, Mitch, you rebound it. That was our solution. I would say that while we got some talent there, that's different talent. Some is built to attack switching, some isn't, and then we got to find ways to do it otherwise.
With the day's rest, could you sense a little bit of rejuvenation there?
Yeah, no, we had a great practice yesterday. We really had a good practice where we spent a lot of time just doing things that we've been dying to do for 2 weeks. So that was good. And then we try to get down to, maybe 30% of our practice was the Purdue game. Today it will be much more Purdue. But we're just making. That's all we do. We got to look at this thing no different than every day. I keep my mind keeps drifting, right, to the next game or what's up, and I keep just grounding myself. All right, just control today, right? We're 17-5 by just controlling today. I got to do the same thing. But we did have a great day yesterday.
And then I don't think I know you don't like to look back, but that last play, the out-of-bounds play, did you have a chance to look at that? And what were your thoughts on that? That was overturned in the last game.
Yeah, I never. They said that there is a camera angle that I could not see that said that it went off our guy's hands. I got to trust that officiating crew made the right call, but it's still one of the ones that will probably will be right along to me like who shot JFK. I don't know if we'll ever know the real answer. I don't know. Was there a conspiracy? Was there a conspiracy with JFK? We'll probably know that answer. One day in heaven, we're going to all find out.
Andrew? The last time you guys had a bit of a break in games, right before the new year, you talked about some of the stats that you looked at for your own team. I'm wondering if, given that you had a little bit of break here, and it's the halfway point of the Big Ten season. If you've done the same thing, looked at your own numbers, and I guess what has jumped out?
Yeah, our numbers, our defensive efficiency is actually very good, which is surprising to me given our defensive field goal percentage. So I don't know what goes into that, but that's what I care about the most is the OER and the DER. That's what I care about the most. And both of them are DER is really good. The OER it's 50, so we're used to being a little bit better than that. It was somewhere in there. But we have some stats that we got to do better in individually with our team. You know, we got some guys shooting 30% from two. That's not going to win a lot of games. So we're hoping that is a good sign that we're still winning, and we still have some poor individual stats that will grow. Foul shooting, the same thing.
And then Purdue, you know, they made some threes last time you guys played them, I guess.
They're doing it against everybody.
Yeah.
It's incredible. They're averaging 11.5 a game. I don't recall that.
Did you have, I guess, more confidence that you can slow them in that area of this game than you?
Oh yeah. And if they get them, they're going to get them. But it's not a formula for winning, allowing double-digit threes. It's with anywhere. And you know, Iowa, when they had 20 against Iowa in front of a huge crowd, it just shows that these guys, they're skilled at 4 positions on the perimeter, and they all can make entry passes. They all can shoot, and they get great action away. When they're looking in at the post, there's action going away. So if he doesn't like the post, there's action. So if you're looking in at the post while there's action away, they're going to get somebody open, and we have to be able to try and guard both.
Past few games, some of your guards, including Muhammad, have hit a shooting slump again. I guess is that, and they're producing off the ball, but is that them being tired? Is that teams maybe figuring something out with how to defend?
No,
them?
I don't think it's people figuring things out. I think tired or just having off games, as we said, when everybody would include myself. You know, we got to get Duncan to make shots. He's going to come back to the norm sometime, and he certainly came back to the norm the other day. So it is it's a thing that everybody's going to go through, right? And sometimes it's like in baseball, you know, it's a shot right at the right field or right at the center field or right at the left field, or they hit the heck out of the ball. They go in and out, they go in and out, going in and out. Is he really not swinging the bat well? Or is he really not shooting well? So we have to, you know, just see through it and keep believing and knowing that any of our guys that are shooting low percentage will come back to what they normally do, or if not better.
So, John, in terms of a team you're facing, is this, you had the Southern teams, there's other teams.
Yeah.
Is this the best one you've seen, you think, in terms of?
This is probably because they really play good defense. It's probably as good as any. It's tough because it's also relative, but it's probably as good as any of the teams we've seen in the league since we've been here.
Is it because they're all veterans?
Yeah, that's a big part of it, and not there's been veterans.
Yeah.
They're still making the same mistakes they did when they're freshmen. There's older teams that you still will play with different teams that are you can still get them on stuff. This team's a high IQ team that is veteran, and that makes a big difference. But one thing that you know from Gene Katie's teams to Matt's teams, they're all tough too, and these teams are tough, veteran, high IQ, shoot it with a big man. It is. I won't sleep easy tonight. I won't.
John, how did when it seemed like things were kind of trending toward really going Charles' way earlier in the year, with him kind of being not the man, but how do you think he handled that originally, and where have things kind of gone awry here the last few years?
As he continues to understand the game, there's some things that we have to clean up. If you just watch him sometimes, he looks like Bambi on ice many times when he lands. I just watch it. Slow it down TV, and he'll land with legs like this, knees in, and it just is taking him off balance. So as he continues to play with the ball, off the ball, there's some things we got to clean up that he can have balance. He can be on balance. That's one of his biggest issues. He's got to walk every game, count on it. It's because he's off balance, and he and I are working on it to make sure that he's at. But that same walk is leading to the off balance jump shot, the off balance layup, the drive into the lane. That you know, there's a couple times Xavier's wide open and the pass is over here, or Duncan's over here. This balance issue is one we're going to work out, but that's not one you just change. So that's where you're going to see these points right now where It's frustrating to him and to me, but we're just going to keep working on it. Great attitude about it. Great attitude.
And you mentioned the other day about feeling out the first 5 minutes of games and how teams are switching on you.
That's what our team has to do, so I can do it. But if our team goes like crazy, I don't know what they're doing. But go ahead, you got it right.
I was going to say, how much of it is the guys on the floor for those first 5 minutes to read and react?
That's right. We have to encourage that more. To just listen, just play, see what they're doing before you counter. In our Nebraska game, about 2 freshmen did our counter play before we did the regular play. So they were a little thirsty at the time. It means they wanted to get a shot, and you gotta let that all. You gotta see how the team is playing you, and not guess how they're going to play you. And so that's something we're encouraging.
How much of that's on the 5 on the floor, and how much of it is specifically on Xavier?
No, it's a 5 on the floor. No, that's not. Our plays are our plays, and there's so much interaction between all of them. It's not one guy. He's in an assist situation a lot, but if guys aren't running their routes, then it's a different thing.
Chris?
Some of these teams that you've played on the road, obviously you guys are been toughened up by that. Do you sense like a confidence and that these guys sense an opportunity here because of that?
Well, I hope so. This is, as I said, there's having the 3. I think those are 3 quality wins that we've had on the road, and that this is another opportunity to gain one of those. This would be a huge one, obviously, but we still got to win. We still got to win more games. So whichever way it is, but I sense our guys feel that, but as I said, this is one we've had some. We started off very poor at playing at Purdue, and then we had some success, and then the last couple of years have been really hard to win there as well. So just like any place else, but it's hard. But hopefully our guys feel that they can go win. It should give them confidence. It certainly beats the alternative where if we hadn't won a road game yet, you got extra pressure on you.
And then the Nebraska game, do you look at that as an anomaly, almost like a schedule loss there, even?
No, did you watch the Ohio State game? I mean, they're good.
I just meant the way that you guys played and came out.
They're good.
Okay.
That was not a Michigan thing. That was a Nebraska thing. They're good. They're really good. And so I said that before. They're a legitimate team. You can just see that they have a lot of the matchup for us is difficult. You can saw right away they play small. They attack Mo right away, and then defensively. They switched everything, and we couldn't go out. We couldn't use some of our stuff to outquick them at the 5 position. So it's a tough matchup for us, but they're going to do that with everybody.
Max, you want to close this up?
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned a couple weeks ago you guys started out pretty slow in the first half offensively that you sort of attributed to the switching, and then more in the second half, end of the first half and into the second half, the offense sort of picked up. Is there anything after reviewing that you can take specifically?
Yeah, again, it was a lack of patience on our part that we're just trying to just make things happen. We had a guy come off a screen, drop the ball, and then shoot it anyhow, right? It's just patience early in the game to just see how they're playing us and to execute what we're trying to do. But sometimes a guy will feel a little bit of pressure and I got to do something, right? Now you can pivot through the pressure and still make a play. And so that's where it is. And I think in the second half, where we had good starts in the second half, they realize what's happening. They can slow down and just sort of realize that you don't score points when you're rushing things, but you score points when you have that just a little bit more of poise and presence, and that you know what you're doing offensively.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks.